Hello friends, welcome back to my channel Mukesh English. This is Mukesh Soni. Friends, in this video I'll discuss about a very important grammar topic, English grammar topic, that is reported speech. That's also called as direct and indirect speech. So generally what happens when a one person tells to the other person about any event or about any information, how the second person narrates the same thing to the third person, that is called as the indirect speech. When one person is saying to the other person, there's direct speech. When the second person is reporting to the other people, that's called indirect speech. So that's what we are going to learn here, and I'll try my best to explain from all the grammatical point of view as well as the important rules which we follow while changing direct to indirect speech, which also called as the reported speech. So let's begin it. So first, we'll try to have a brief discussion in the form of this table. So when the subject is a statement, how do we convert or change a direct speech into the indirect speech? He said, comma, inverted comma, I am a happy, or I am happy. I'm sorry, I'm happy. So let's change it into the indirect speech. So we'll copy here, he said. We'll remove the comma and inverted comma, and we'll write here conjunction that I will become a he because of this pronoun, and am will change the present tense, will become a past tense because the reporting verb is in the past tense. Hence, the reported speech verb should also be in the past tense. He was happy. So it's a simple sentence, it's a statement. So whenever there's a statement, we are going to connect the reporting verb and the reporting speech by using that. Okay. Now, question. She asked, comma, inverted comma, where are you going? So it's a WS question. So in such case, what are we going to do? We are not going to connect these two part of the direct speech by using that. No, we will not use the word THAT. What we will do here, we'll remove the comma, inverted comma, and we will copy the same WH question. Remember, we will copy the same WH question here, and immediately, 1 minute, immediately next to the WH question, we'll write here subject. So where are you going? Right? So she asked, where are you going? So here you will become here I, are will become here was, the present tense will become here, will be changed into the past tense. So where I was going. So don't write where was I going. It will be wrong answer. So immediately next to WH question, I'm saying next to WH question there should be subject, where I was going, and we'll remove the question mark, we'll write here full stop. This is how we are going to change the questions if the question begins with WH question. Now, if the question does not begin with WH question and the question begins with the yes or no question, that's called helping verb, is, am, are, was, were, do, does, did, has, a, had, will, should, shall, should, model, etc. So he asked, comma, inverted comma, will remove, will write here if, for to connect these to see here statement we use that. Here we have copied the same WH word, but here the question begins with the yes or no questions. That's called the auxiliary or the models also, if it starts with will, would, etc. So it's starting with a helping verb, so hence we need to connect by using if or whether, WHETHER. So generally it's easy to remember if instead of whether. So if I was coming, if I was coming, he asked if I was coming. Done. Now, command, adesh, command, request, it could be request also. She said, comma, inverted comma, sit down. So whenever this such kind of command or the request, we don't use that to connect. We don't use if, whether. What do we use? We use here infinitive to, to. We just use the infinitive to. She told me to sit down. Simple. To sit down. For example, she said, close the door. She told me to close the door. To, to close the door. And anyway, in tense, there's a rule also that after to, the verb should be first form or the simple present tense without any s or es. Okay, done. Now, negative command. So he said, don't run. Simple. He told me not to run. He told me not to run. So don't use the word here THAT, if, whether, because it's in the negative command. Okay. Now request. Similarly, he said, please help me. So please means what? Please means it's a requisition. So he requested me to help him, or he requested to help him. Both are correct. He requested to help him. Why requested? Because the reporting verb is in the past tense, right? Suppose if we say he says, instead of said, it is he says. So we'll say he says to, he requests to help him. But here he said, so he requested me to help him. Okay, so this is the very skeleton I have given here. Now we will discuss here in detail. So it will be very easy for you to connect, right? Let's begin in detail discussion. Now, before we discuss in detail, we should know what changes we are going to do when we convert or when we change a direct speech to indirect speech. There are few words, there are few pronouns, there are few timely words which we need to change. Conversion has to happen. So to begin with, pronoun will be changed. In the direct speech, I will become here. In the indirect speech, I will become here he or she. My will become here his or her. You will also change. Y o u. You will change based on the given noun or pronoun. Sometimes you will become him or her or they also. So there's an example here. She said, I love my dog. So she said that I here refers to whom? She. She said that she love will become here loved. Why is ed? Why there is a past tense of love? Because the reporting verb is in the past tense. That's the reason love will become here loved, right? My dog, she said, right? Pronoun my will become here her dog. So she said that she loved her dog. So this is how the pronoun change. Now the next change, the basic change, we need to change here the present tense am or is. See, direct speech, if those verbs come when we are converting direct speech to indirect speech, we need to do these basic changes, otherwise you'll be getting 0 marks. Am or is will become was, are will become were, have or has will become had, will become or will be converted, will becomes here would, can becomes here could, do or does will become did, right? Now did, suppose the did is given in the direct speech, that means did will become here had done. That means to say the past simple past will become here past participle. I'm sorry, the past the past participle, simple past will become here past participle, did will become here had done, was were will become here had been, was were will become here had been, was were plus were ing, verb ing, had been plus verb ing. He was working, so he had been working, right? He was working, he had been working. So this is how you need to change the direct to indirect speech as far as the tenses are concerned. Now for example, he said I have finished. So he said that he had finished, right? Why have becomes had here? Because of this past tense, he said. Reporting verb is in the past tense, so the reporting speech verb will also change into the past tense. So don't worry, it seems very theoretical in the beginning. I have about 30 questions before we complete this particular video. I have written in your thumbnail also. If you look at the poster also, I have written here 4 exercises sets and 30 solved questions. So we'll discuss 30 questions after this theory part. Okay, then you'll get more clear idea. Then yeah, the time words. Today becomes that day. Tomorrow, the next day. Yesterday will change into the previous day or the day before. Tonight changes into that night. Last week, the previous week. Next week, the following week. Ago, before. Now, then. Hence, thence. Thus, in that way or so. Here, there. This, that. These, those. Now, just, then. So these direct speech time verbs, when we are converting into indirect speech, we need to change it. Example, just a minute. She said, I'll do it tomorrow. So she said that she would do it the next day. So the time word has changed. Tomorrow has become here the next day according to this table. Okay. Now these are the basic rules of changes. Now let's know some exceptions are there. There are some exceptions where certain tense will not change. The tense will remain unchanged. So some exceptions cases we shall discuss. Why am I discussing all these things in advance? So that it will be very easy for you to solve the questions, because I have here 30 questions which will help you to understand the whole reported speech, direct or indirect speech. So what are the exceptions where tense does not change? Number one, try to understand the theory part. The past tense in the direct speech generally becomes the past tense in the indirect speech. That's quite very much common. She said in the next indirect speech also will use the past tense. But in the following cases, the past tense in the indirect speech will not change. It will not change. We will not change the tense in the past tense in the indirect speech. How? Let's see the example. See, when the speaker is referring to a historical event, if the speaker is referring to a historical event, for example, she said, India got freedom on the 15th August 1947. Got means past tense, simple past, right? Simple past. Now, we cannot make it into past perfect. We can't say had got. So we have to copy the same. He said that India got freedom on the 15th August 1947, full stop, right? So we will not change it here because it's a historical event. You cannot change past simple past to past perfect. No. One more example. When the speaker expresses an unimagined condition, how is it? The teacher said, if the students approached me, I would certainly guide them. So what's the answer? The teacher said that if the students approached him, only pronoun will change. Him, he would certainly guide them. Again, the past tense will not change. The same past tense will here. Remember, the we had discussed here like past perfect. If it's actually according to rule, it should become had approached. The past tense, simple past will become past perfect, had approached. But we are not changing here because this is the unimagined condition by using clause if. Now, the third condition, third exception case, when the two actions occurring at the same time, when the two actions are happening at the same time. Example, the director said, when I walked in, the manager and the clerks were not in the room. So we can't say when he had walked in. We can't use here he had walked in because the two actions happened at the same time. So it remains unchanged. Only pronouns will change. The director said that when he walked in, so we will not use the word here had walked in. Same simple past will be used here. Had walked in, the manager and the clerks were not in the room. So we have seen in those three important cases, we have not changed the past tense in the indirect speech. We have used the same past tense, right? Now, second exception we have here, the present tense in the direct speech is not changed into the past tense if we are speaking about some universal truth or habitual action. For example, Sheila said, oil floats on water. See, it's a universal statement. You cannot say oil floated on water. No, though it is in the past tense. So what we'll say? Sheila said that oil floats on water, no change. This present tense will not change. This present tense will remain same. Floats will remain same. Float will not become floated. Remember, sun rises in the east or sun sets in the west, something like this we cannot change, right? Okay. Second question, Nitesh said, I go for a walk every morning. See, it's a habitual action. We can't say Nitesh said that he went for a walk every morning. See, it will be very ambiguous statement, very vague statement. So we'll say Nitesh said that he goes for a walk every morning. See, here past tense, but here present tense. Why? It's a habitual action. So these are the exception cases we have to keep in the mind when we are solving the questions in the examination. Definitely to confuse the students in the examination, to test the students' knowledge in the examination, an examiner will definitely give one such question. So that you need to remember. Okay, now we will discuss here the direct indirect speech, converting direct to indirect speech with the help of three important themes. One is the interrogative questions, one is the exclamatory question, one is the imperative questions. Okay, still I'm doing theory. Now, interrogative questions, sentences. Interrogative sentence means to say the sentences which have the question mark. So there are two types of questions we generally have. One question is called WH question. WH means to say the questions which begin with those WH word: what, who, whom, when, which, whose, where, why, how. There are some questions which begin with the yes or no questions, we call them, which begins with the helping verb: is, am, are, was, were, are. I've forgotten to write here. Is, am, are, was, were, do, does, did, has, have, had, will, would, shall, should, can, could, may, might, must, need, dare, ought, used to. So the questions sometimes begin with the WH word, sometimes it begins with the uh, yes or no questions, or the yes or no helping verbs, or we can say helping verbs. So how to change in such case? Mukesh, oh, 1 minute, 1 minute, something's wrong here. Just a minute here. Mukesh said to Nitesh, why are you climbing the tree? So in the simple statement we have seen here, if it's a statement, if it's not a question, we remove comma, inverted comma, and we use the word that, 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 to connect, right? But here it is not a statement, it's a question. And what kind of question? It's a WH question. So whenever WH question appears in your indirect speech, you should not worry about it. What you should do? You should copy the same WH question as it is. Only one thing you have to change here: said to will become asked. A-S-K-E-D, asked. Sometimes people say asked also. Okay, as you like to pronounce. However you would like to pronounce it: asked, A-S-K-E-D, asked. Nitesh asked, Mukesh asked Nitesh, why? See the rule of the game. Why? After why, don't copy the helping verb. You copy the subject. You will become here he, because Nitesh and you is connected, right? You will become here he. That means subject. This R will become here was. Why? This is in the past and said. The reporting verb is in the past tense. So this reported speech verb will change into the past tense, right? R will become here was. Why was? Why was here? Because he is a singular subject. Why he was climbing a tree? Full stop. You have to remove the question mark. Full stop. I hope you understood now. So only one thing you have to remember: what WH word you have to copy as it is. Very next to WH word, you should write subject. Then you should write the helping verb. Helping verb will change here because it is ASKED, asked, simple past tense. It will also change. The present tense will convert into past tense, right? Next, similarly, the officer said to Neha, what are you doing? So the officer inquired. Right? It's a kind of an inquiry. You can also say asked also. Of the officer inquired, the officer asked Neha what she was doing. Not, don't say what was she doing. It's wrong answer. What was she doing is wrong. What she was doing, full stop. Okay. The teacher said to a student, have you submitted assignment? Okay. Now see the difference. These two questions start with a WH word. Okay. Why, what, etc. But this question does not start with the WH word. Okay. Here the student get 0 marks. This question does not start with a WH word. It starts with the helping verb. Which are the helping verb? Is, am, are, was, were, do, does, did, has, have, had, will, would, shall, should, can, could, may, might, something like this. Okay, these are the helping verbs. So whenever the question starts with a helping verb, what are you supposed to do? Very simple. Just add here connector. Which connector? You have to add here if or whether. Don't write WEATHER. That will become awesome. So if you can't remember this long spelling, you just use two letters word if. You need to connect, right? These are the two different reporting reporting verb and reporting speech. You need to connect it here. So you have to use here if whenever the question starts with a helping verb. See here it started with WH word. We copied the same, but we can't copy these helping verb here. We cannot copy this one here, so we have to use other word called if to connect. So the teacher said to a student, the teacher asked a student if slash whether, you can use anyone, if very next subject you will become here he, have will change into had, submitted assignment. The teacher asked student if he had submitted assignment. Hope you understood. Now let's take one more example here where we find the models. Models can, could, shall, should, will, would, may, might. These are the models. He asked me. I have to use here if because it doesn't start with WH word, so I should use here if. You and me here refers to whom? I. If I can, will, the past tense of can, could. If I could swim. Don't say swam, swim, because after the modals you should always use the first form of the verb, right? First form of the verb if you have read tenses very well. Okay, so this is how you have to solve the questions if the indirect speech come in the questioning format. Okay, so if the indirect speech starts with the helping verb, you connect it by using if, then subject. If the question starts with the WH word, you copy the same WH word next to it, subject. Then you change the tense. Present tense will become past tense. You can see here are has become was, are has become was, right? Have has become here had, and can has become here could. Okay, so this is the one type of indirect speech. Now, secondly, imperative sentences. So what is the meaning of imperative sentences? Imperative sentences where we say about any kind of command, right? Command, request. So when we convert a direct speech into the indirect speech, when the indirect speech is given in the imperative sentences, so we change the reporting verb, and depends on the nature of the sentence we use some words. Depends on nature, we can, like commanded, ordered, instructed, requested, asked, advised, proposed, suggested, warned, implored, etc. So let's try to understand with the help of the questions. The headmaster said to Mukesh, bring the duster, right? So it's an imperative sentence. It's a kind of a command. It's a kind of an order. So we can also say asked also. We can also say ordered also. But here it's not a statement. Okay, it's not a question. It's not a helping verb question. It's not a WH question. So we need to use some word here when we remove comma, inverted comma, we should use a word to connect it. So which word we should use here? To. To. To we should use here. And remember one golden rule of tense. Next to, if any verb is coming, I'm talking again verb, verb. If any verb is coming, the verb should always be in the simple present tense without any s or es. To bring the duster. Simple answer. The headmaster ordered Mukesh. The headmaster asked Mukesh to bring the duster. Don't write a brought. Remember, because you have this mindset that, sir, it is written in the past tense, so I'll change this one into the past tense. No, 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 no. You should not do it. So you should always remember this TO2. After TO2, if you are getting a main verb should always be in the simple present tense. See, I have not written here to brings, to brought. No, to bring the duster. Simple way. Okay. Then the guide said to the people, please don't touch the exhibits. Please don't touch the exhibits. Right? It was an order, bring it. It's a request. The word says request here. So what will it say? It will change because of this. The guide requested the people not to touch the exhibits. Okay, not, it's a negative, it's in the negative form. Not, don't say the guide requested the people don't touch the exhibits. It's wrong. The guide requested the people not to touch the exhibits. See, to, then touch. I will not use here touched. No, touches. No, no S or ES, no ED, no EN. After to, if any verb comes, just keep this in your mind. It's a golden rule of tense. I'm telling you, many students do this mistake here. After to, if any verb is coming, you should use this base form of the verb without an S, no S, no ES, no ED, no EN, no ING also. Okay, hope you understood. You can write in the comment box if you have understood. Then I said to my friend, give up smoking. See, it's not an order. When you say give up smoking, it's like a suggestion, right? It's like an advice. So you need to think, you need to feel it. So what will I say? I'm sorry. Yeah. I advised my friend to give up smoking. See here, to give up smoking, not to give up, not to given up, not to gives up. No S, no ES, no ED, no EN. Just copy the same verb as it is, remove the comma, inverted comma, and write here to. So this two will become a connector. It's connecting reporting verb, it's and the reporting speech. So this is how you need to solve the questions when it appears from the imperative sentences. Okay, hope you understood. And again, we have another 30 important questions. Through that also we'll revise. Then next type of sentences we have here, exclamatory sentences. So exclaims, right? So in such case, the reporting verb will change, will become exclaimed, wished, wondered, desired, prayed, blessed, declared. Let's see how. Uh, he said, may God reward him. May God reward him. It's a kind of a wish, right? How to write, how to change into indirect speech. He wished that God might reward him. Don't, we can't use here to. He wished that God might. Past tense, may will become might reward him. She said, alas, the poor woman died of hunger. So it's an exclamatory sentence. The poor woman died of hunger, right? It's like a bad news. So what should we say? Said here, how to change? She exclaimed with sorrow. Okay, you have to remember like this. She exclaimed with sorrow that the poor woman died of hunger. The visitor said, what a beautiful picture was, right? Exclamatory mark. So the visitor exclaimed that it was a beautiful picture. It will change like this. The visitor exclaimed that it was a beautiful picture. So these things you have to remember, right? Then the student asked the teacher, may I come in, sir? So generally it's a common question. So how to write? It looks very simple, but the answer is not too simple. The student asked the teacher respectfully if he or she might go in. If he or she might go in. Okay. So this is how the exclamatory sentences you have to change if it comes in the indirect speech. All right. Now, so far I have discussed the complete direct indirect speech or reported speech in the form of the rules regulation. Now we are going to mix all the rules regulations like a khichdi. Okay, BC wale baat, something like this, and you'll be getting so many questions mixed. So I have sets of questions four sets of questions, about 40 questions we are going to discuss here. So I'll be very rapid here, and I will not explain now. I'll be just giving you the answer. You can pause the video and to go through. So set number one, question number one. She asked, oh, 1 minute, something is wrong. Yeah. She asked, do you like chocolate? What's the answer? She asked if I liked chocolate, right? I should not say why I have used if, because by now you should have understood why if, because it begins with the helping verb. The question is not beginning with WH word. If it begins with WH word, I should use here the same WH word. He said, where are you going? So what's the answer? Think fast. Think fast. Yes. He asked where I was going. Okay. They asked, have you seen this movie? What is the answer? Quick, think. I won't give you more than 10 seconds. Think. They asked if, it starts with have, if I had seen that movie, this will become a that movie. The teacher asked, why were you absent yesterday? The teacher asked why I had been absent the day before or the previous day. Another answer, the previous day. I asked her, can you help me with my homework? I asked if she, her, if she could help me with my homework. We can't say if she could help her with her homework. It will have no sense, right? If she could help me with my homework. Then another question. John said, when will you visit your Grandparents. John asked, when I would visit my grandparents. She said, is it raining outside? She asked if it was raining outside. He asked, what is your name? What's the answer? He asked me what my name was. See here, what WH word, your will become my, name was, the present tense will become past tense. My friend said, did you enjoy the trip? Did you enjoy the trip? My friend asked if I had enjoyed the trip. This is a tricky question here. See, this is in the past tense. Okay, this is in the past tense, and you have to, the simple past will become past perfect. Had done, did will become a had, enjoyed. Had, whenever we use have as had, the third form we should use it the next to the helping verb. So my friend asked, next to the main verb, sorry. My friend asked if I had enjoyed the trip. Last question. The stranger asked, where is the nearest ATM? The stranger asked where the nearest ATM was. See, the helping verb will come at the end. So these are the 10 questions from the set number 1. Now, set number 2, similarly, 10 questions. Oh, exercises. I'm sorry. Please do excuse me. I've given the wrong spelling. It should be exercises, right? Now I cannot change it. It's a continuous video. I apologize for the spelling error. If I change it now, again I have to start my video from the beginning, so I cannot change it. Please do forgive me for this minor error. She said to me, close the door. So it's an imperative sentence. Close the door. So she told me to close the door. Correct, as I told you. To, first form, close the door. It's not a question, it's not a statement, it's not a WS question, it's an imperative, it's an order, right? Or we can also say she ordered me, she asked me, she told me to close the door. The teacher said to the students, please be quiet. It's a request, right? The teacher requested or the students to be quiet. The teacher asked the students to be quiet. Okay, so we need to connect. Remember the command order, we have to, when we remove comma inverted comma, we have to connect by using to, to. He said to his brothers, one minute, yeah. He said to his brother, don't touch my phone. He told his brother not to touch his phone. Negative. Not to touch his phone. Not touches, not touched, not to touch his phone. I said to her, help me with this work. I told her to help me with that work. Okay. I asked her to help me with that work. Mother said to me, clean your room. Mother told me to clean my room. We can't say to clean his room, to clean my room. So somewhere you have to use some common sense that when you are saying the same statement to the third person, how would you say? Then the officer said, stand in a line. So it's again instruction. The officer ordered them to stand in a line. She said to the child, don't go near the fire. She warned the child not to go near the fire. She told the child, she asked the child, she ordered the child, she warned the child, not order. She warned, it's a warning, not to go near the fire. The doctor, the doctor said to him, take this medicine twice a day. It's a suggestion, it's an advice. The doctor advised him, to take the medicine twice a day. So to remove comma and to comma, we have to use here to as an infinitive. He said, please wait for me. So he requested me to wait for him, or he requested to wait for him. The policeman said, show me your ID card. The policeman asked me to show him my ID card. We can't say to show him his ID card. No. The policeman asked me to show him my ID card. Okay. So now we are moving to the next set here. Again, exercise spelling error. I can't change now. Difficult. She said, what a beautiful dress. Exclamatory sentence. She exclaimed that it was a beautiful dress. He said, how lucky I am. He exclaimed how lucky he was. They said, what a terrible accident. They exclaimed it was a terrible accident. See how you are going to change the exclamatory sentence. You have to remember. You have to by heart few sentences. John said, hooray, we have won the match. So it's an exclamation with joy. He exclaimed with joy that they had won the match. They had won the match. Have will become head. They had won the match. She said, alas, I lost my purse. She exclaimed with sorrow that she had lost. See, many students, they do one mistake. They just copy the same lost. Remember, if the past tense is here, it will become past perfect. Lost will become here head lost. HAD head. Lost, LOST lost, head lost. That's a minimum change. Next question. The boy said, wow, that's a cool bike. The boy exclaimed with admiration that it was a cool bike. The boy exclaimed with admiration, we can also say with joy, that it was a cool bike. The old man said, what a peaceful place this is. The old man exclaimed that it was a peaceful place. It was a very peaceful place, or it was a peaceful place. He said, how sweet of you to come. He exclaimed, how sweet it was of me to come. Not it was of him to come. She said, what a surprise to see you here. She exclaimed that it was a surprise to see me there, not to see him there, to see me there. They said, bravo, you did a great job. They applauded me, saying that I had done a great job. So this is how we have done here. And now we have some complicated, some difficult direct indirect speech exercises here. The last exercise, 40 questions. I think this is the set four set. Now, the CEO said we will launch the new product by the end of this quarter. The CEO said that they would launch the new product by the end of that quarter. This will become that. We have become here. They will has changed to would. I said to her, why were you absent from the meeting yesterday? I asked her why she had been absent. I told you last time also, why were you absent? It will become here. She had been absent from the meeting the day before. The teacher said, make sure you submit your assignment before the deadline. The teacher told us to make sure we submitted our assignments before the deadline. There may be some, okay, anyway, nothing. She said, I might go to Europe if I get the scholarship. She said that she might go to Europe if she got the scholarship. If she got the scholarship. He said to me, have you ever been to a live concert? He asked me if I had ever been to a live concert. If I had ever been to a live concert. The scientist said the data, although incomplete, suggests a scientific intent. The scientific said that the data, although incomplete, suggested a scientific trend. She said, what an incredible performance that was. She exclaimed that it had been, or we can also say, it was an incredible performance. Both are correct. We can also say it was an incredible performance. In both the ways, it's correct. Then he said to the assistant, please don't disclose this information to anyone. He requested the assistant not to disclose that information. See, minor change. This will become that. Please don't, it will become not to disclose. The manager said, you should have informed me earlier about the error. The manager said that I should have informed him earlier about the error. The last question, they said we were waiting for the bus when the accident happened. They said that they had been waiting. See, the as I mentioned here, the past continuous tense will become past perfect continuous. Was, were, verb ing will become here had been plus verb ing. Remember, this is the change. They had been waiting for the bus when the accident had happened. See that there are two changes. Don't forget this very important, tough question. We were waiting. Were waiting has become here had been waiting. The accident happened has become here the accident had happened. Simple past changed to the past perfect, right? Past continuous has changed to the past perfect continuous. Okay, so these are the 40 questions we have discussed here. Now I have few 10 questions which I'm not going to solve, and I have borrowed these 10 questions from this website. You can also go through this website. This website gives you a lot of information about the reported speech which appear in the competitive examination. So I've taken the screenshot, and courtesy source I mentioned here. So thanks to this website for providing me such a good information. So you can I will not read these questions here. Like, anyway, let me read. Kiran asked me, did you see the cricket match on television last night? You have four options. Find out. Test yourself, right? Second question, David said to Anna, Mona will leave for her native place tomorrow. Find the appropriate answer. I said to him, why are you working so hard? Fourth, he said to her, what a cold day. So you can pause the video and you can find out the correct answer. The tailor said to him, will you have the suit ready by tomorrow evening? He said to the interviewer, could you please repeat the question? He said, be quiet and listen to my words. Find the answer. He said to me, I have often told you not to play with fire, right? Then the captain said to this man, stand at ease. And Pawan said to me, if I hear any news, I will phone you. So these 10 questions I have taken from that particular website, which I already mentioned here. So I'm not going to solve these 10 questions. You should solve by own. And I suggest you to write the answers of these 10 questions in the comment box. In the comment box, please do write the answers of these 10 questions. And this is how I have tried my best. I tried my best to give you an input about the reported speech, direct, indirect speech. I've done one error. For that, I apologize. I've given a wrong spelling of the word exercise. And if I correct the spelling, I have to restart my video from beginning, because whatever my videos are here, I don't take a break. It will be one stretch video without any break, without any editing. So friends, thank you so much, and keep watching my channel for the other videos on the grammar. And this video, I mean to say, this topic is common for all the English students: reported speech, direct and indirect speech. Thank you, and subscribe the channel for more videos.